Hey guys, so intro to art history, AP art history. I am going to do a better job on the video because I just made one and realized I haven't done one in about 3 weeks. And wow, did I say and so a lot? I apologize. It's probably still going to happen, but I'm going to be a little bit more conscious of it as I do this one. So I'm going to kind of streamline things. Look, I already said so one time. Try to just ignore it. All right, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm really glad that you're taking art history. It's a perfect time to take AP art history right now because art history is about looking around at how the art reflects what's going on in the culture. You look at history, you look at current world, but the big skills are learning to make connections. Why is that the way it is? What impacted it? What influenced it? Learning how to look at other cultures, how to look at art, how to just see patterns and that sort of thing. It's all about broadening your horizons. It's about learning different cultures and making connections, which makes you a better human being, which helps the world right now if we're all a little bit more broad horizons, right? So we're going to grab it and just run with it. We should have a really great mix of kids in the class. I'm really excited about the class. So I've already said and so a lot. All right. What we're going to do for summer work is you're going to do the first 11. Let me just give you a little bit of a background on AP Art History class. It used to just be anything. We studied as much art as we could, but anything was fair game. What they did was they actually condensed it, and now it is a list of 250 artworks that represent from rock paintings till yesterday and global. So you're getting little bits from each part. We do more than just study for the test, so you will see a lot more art than just the 250 pieces, but the testing will be on the 250 pieces and the AP exam will be on the 250 pieces. So your homework for the summer is the first 11, which is prehistory. One of the best resources we're going to be using is Khan Academy. If you've never been on Khan Academy, the link should be on the email with this. If you get confused, Google Khan Academy AP Art History. You can see they have a lot of stuff. AP Art History. They have a non-AP Art History that has similar content. It just has more. It doesn't just have the 250 pieces. So when you go on Khan Academy AP Art History, they have all sorts of resources. If you would like to read through these, why art matters, elements of art, compositions, language of art history, feel free. So I'm just kind of showing you how to navigate. This is where the master list is. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you want to look at the language of art, it gives you contrapposto and foreshortening and chiaroscuro and all that sorts of things. We'll be going through that in class, don't worry. So just so you know, that's where it is. There's a lot more, but once we get into the units, like right here, when you click on global prehistory, all the pieces that you're going to have to use for the summer are right here. So you can just go and say, all right, let's go to the Lascaux. Those are the famous cave paintings, the Hall of the Bulls in Lascaux. Okay, so you'll be reading about those later. There's no textbook for AP Art History. When they went to the 250 list, there's no one book that just encompasses all of it. So the two places that have everything that we need, Khan Academy website, so we're going to be using this, and we will be having a Barron's study guide book. You'll be getting that in the fall. We'll use that too as a reference because it has all 250. All right, so when we go back to the main website here, when you go to the master list of 250, required. So I will be talking about smart history here in a second. But you can go to the global prehistory. They've also made it super easy for you right here. So say you want to talk about Stonehenge. They have an essay for you to read. And it's all right here for you. So what you'll be doing for your summer homework, I will be sending you these sheets. They're going to look a lot the same, but right here in the first box is the artwork, the number of it, number 8, Stonehenge. So it should have the name of the artwork. If there's an artist, it would be there. All these identifiers are what you need to memorize to be able to write about it intelligently on the AP exam. So we will be having ID quizzes on those sorts of things. Let me talk you through each box. Visual elements are basically, when you look at it, how can you describe it? So it gives you some clues right here. Is there color? Is there texture? Is there balance? Is it 3D? Just all those sorts of things. Artistic decisions and technique sounds kind of maybe intimidating, but what was the process? What decisions about form? Like, is it does it have a lot of recessed areas and projections? If it's a sculpture, what types of materials did they decide to use? Oil paint instead of watercolor, that sort of thing. Context, this row 4, 5, and 6 is a lot of the meat of it. So that's why there's 3 boxes. Context in a few different ways. So this is content. If it's a painting, is it a painting about Jesus and Mary? Is there symbolism, iconography? What's the story that goes along with it? If it's a statue of David fighting Goliath. Intended function and purpose and motivation. This is where you're going to say, what is the purpose of it? Is it a carved figure that's used in fertility rites, in ancient cultures? If it's a building, what is specific about the location? Why did they decide to put the pyramid right there on that side of the river instead of on the other side of the river? Those sorts of things. Context for patronage and audience. You won't know a lot of that for the prehistory. But who was it made for? And was there supposed to be a reaction or response? So something even like Stonehenge, we don't know everything about it, but you're going to be reading about the prevailing theories. Is this supposed to be used for, just priests, or did everybody go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice? Is it, a big ceremony, that sort of thing. These 2 boxes down here, you're probably not going to use a whole lot on these first 11. We will be building on them as we go through the class. But innovation and change, you don't really have like that scope. Same with continuity and tradition. You don't know if Stonehenge is continuing in tradition because you're just studying Stonehenge, and that's okay. Influence, or did it influence others, or was it influenced by others? You won't know that, and you don't really have a lot to compare it to. So these 2 boxes, it's okay. They might be blank. Artistic decisions, some of that might be blank too. So as you do these for summer homework, your goal is to just really get what you can about each piece, but this is prehistory. We don't know as much information as something that was made 10 years ago. So you're working with, how do you do visual elements? It's called visual analysis. How do you work with context and that sort of thing? So you're practicing these skills that are going to get really used for the whole semester. So you're going to get 11 of these sheets to fill out. One thing is, if these tic-tac-toe grid sheets don't work for you and that visually is just confusing, you can just make your own with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just make it into a note sheet. When we get to class, you'll have a packet of these printed out, and you will be handwriting them for homework. These are going to turn into your study guide for the AP exam. And I'm a firm believer in the science that says that when you handwrite things, it helps stick in your brain and you retain it. So you will be doing handwritten notes on these. There's an empty box. That way you can do a drawing. So you're going to do a little drawing of Stonehenge in that box, because that also will help it stick. It's okay if it looks like a kindergartner drew, if you do stick figures in, boxes. Simple drawings, it's fine. You're still looking at it and working with the material, okay? All right, so your summer homework is going to be this global prehistory section. So there's 11 pieces in it. We'll be sending you all of those sheets. And the other thing you are going to get is, I have screenshots that are from the AP College Board actual content. This helps explain what does it mean to analyze form and function, to analyze content and context. So form, function, content, and context. This talks you through that a little bit. And this just kind of shows you what they're expecting you to be able to do. So we're going to be practicing these, all semester. Don't worry. And we won't get to the next one. These are the big ideas. Basically, they say there's 5 big ideas that you're going to be working with all these 250 pieces. So the cultural practices or beliefs of that period. So why does the art look the way it does? Because of what the culture believes. Interactions with other cultures, so making connections. Theories and interpretations, materials and techniques, and then purpose and audience. So you can see how that works into our note sheet, those graphic organizers. All right, one quick thing. I mentioned that there was another website. Okay, Smart History. Smart History existed before Khan Academy took it for AP Art History. So Smart History has been here for longer. I used Smart History before Khan Academy existed for AP Art History. So this is a great, amazing resource. It always has been. They will have more than just the 250 because they aren't just about the AP exam. So they have these histories of art sections. So you can go to the overview, okay? And then you can see they have different things. The essays are the same ones as what you see on the Khan Academy, because Khan Academy literally is working with Smart History and using their material. So you can feel free to use either way, either go to Smart History or Khan Academy. Either one's fine. But this is a new thing that we are going to be using also. I said there was no textbook. Actually, I don't know if I said that or not. But there's no textbook for AP Art History. When they made the 250 list, it's all over the place. Some of these pieces I don't even have in any of my college level books. They're not in any of them. So Khan Academy and Barron's have been the only places in Smart History. They're the only places where all 250 pieces are. What Smart History did, they made books that you can download, free books. So the guides to AP Art History, it's the same content that's on the website, but you can download it and have it on your iPad and just, have it in a different format. So if you go to number 1, it's numbers 1 through 47. Amazing. You can download it and it's free. If you are the kind of person that really wants these bound, you can buy one. You can order a print. Okay. If you order a print, there's a couple of different options. I'm not saying you have to buy one, but if you are interested in it and you don't mind paying for it, then that's totally fine. So this one is black and white. It's 12 books and then 4 cents per page. If you want color, then it's more expensive and all that kind of stuff. So you can look at that. It's about 17 books. Remember, there's going to be more than just one of them though, so just remember that. But they have 5 volumes, so we're going to be downloading them and using them. You don't need to print it unless you really, really want to print out of it. All right, so summer homework. Expect 11 of these. You're going to fill out what you can from it. You're going to read the articles that are on Khan Academy or Smart History. And feel free to do other research. If you are just fascinated by the Lascaux cave paintings and you want to learn more than just what they have on Khan Academy, by all means, there's more resources out there. But the goal is to have you guys spend, 15 to 30 minutes on each one. So that way, depending on how fast you read, you could get the information, fill out your graphic organizer, and move on. Okay, it's not intended to be hours and hours and hours of homework. So if you're getting around 20 minutes on filling out one of these, you're about done. Okay, all right. If you have any questions, I'll be checking email all summer. And if you know anybody else who wants to join the class, let me know. We can still take a few more. Besides that, hopefully you guys get a chance to relax and eventually we'll all get to go places. You know, we won't be stuck in our houses quite so much. So, hopefully we'll be seeing each other in person in August. If we have to do some remote from home, this is a great class that we can do remotely, and you'll still get great content, and we can still have discussions and do all that. So, won't be a problem, and we'll just work with what we get, right? All right. So, let me know if you guys have questions, and we'll talk to you later.